Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going on a journey back in time to an era before smartphones, power lines, or even a single light bulb. It might sound impossible now, but for thousands of years, people lived their entire lives without electricity. So how did they do it? What did life really look like in a world without power? Let's find out. Back then, when the sun went down, darkness took over. People didn't flip a switch. They lit candles, oil lamps, or kerosene lanterns. These small flickering flames were the only source of light in homes and towns. Families would gather around one lamp to talk, eat, or prepare for bed. Public spaces weren't lit unless someone physically lit a fire or lamp. Nighttime was quiet, peaceful. People slowed down, and the world seemed to pause. In the kitchen, there were no microwaves, ovens, or refrigerators. Cooking was done over open fires or wood-burning stoves. Most meals were made from scratch, bread baked by hand, vegetables grown in the backyard, meat cured or smoked to preserve it. Without electricity, food had to be eaten fresh or preserved using natural methods like drying or salting. You couldn't rely on cold storage. You had to rely on skill and timing. Staying cool or warm was a whole different game. In the summer, houses were built to stay cool naturally. Thick walls, shaded porches, and open windows for cross breezes. People slept outside on porches or in barns when it got too hot indoors. Clay pots or stone jugs kept drinking water cool without refrigeration. In the winter, fireplaces and wood stoves kept homes warm. Families huddled together under thick quilts, sharing warmth the old-fashioned way. With body heat and big blankets, there were no space heaters or central air. People dressed in layers, kept moving, and made it work. Entertainment came from one another. Without television or internet, people made their own fun. Singing, storytelling, dancing, or playing games. Kids played outside all day. Adults would gather on porches or in barns to talk, laugh, and share news. Folk songs, tall tales, and family legends were passed down from generation to generation. Social time wasn't spent staring at a screen. It was spent face to face, and if you needed to talk to someone far away, you wrote them a letter. That's right. Communication took days, or even weeks. The arrival of a letter in the mail was a big deal. It was something you read slowly, cherished, maybe even saved. Life without electricity was slower, but it was rich. People weren't glued to devices. They were present with their families, with their neighbors, with nature. Society without power, work, health, and daily life in a simpler time now that we've seen how families lived without electricity. Let's look at how society functioned. How people worked, learned, healed, and moved around in a world that didn't run on power. Most businesses opened with the sun and closed when it set. There were no late-night shifts under bright fluorescent lights. Stores used natural light during the day in candles or lanterns in the evening, if they stayed open at all. Blacksmiths, carpenters, tailors, farmers, everyone worked with their hands. No electric tools, no machines. Just sweat, time, and skill. People weren't disconnected from their labor. They saw, felt, and shaped everything they made. Healthcare was a very different story. Doctors didn't rely on machines or digital monitors. They listened, observed, and touched. Medicines were often herbal or homemade. Midwives delivered babies in homes, not hospitals. People healed with rest, nature, and traditional knowledge. If you got sick at night, a lantern was your only light. No hospital beds lined with cords and machines. Just a warm fire, a trusted caregiver, and prayers for the morning. Education that happened in one-room schoolhouses. No projectors, no computers, no overhead lights. Just wooden desks, chalkboards, and books. Kids walked to school, studied under daylight, and did their homework by candlelight. Teachers weren't influencers or content creators. They were pillars of the community. Lessons were simple but powerful. Reading, writing, arithmetic, and values. And travel, that was slow. Really slow. People used horses, wagons, or simply walked. Trips we now take in 30 minutes might have taken an entire day. Travelers planned their routes, packed their food, and often stopped at roadside inns or camped under the stars. But even though travel was harder, people made it part of the experience. There was no traffic, no GPS, and definitely no flight delays. Just the open road and time. And let's not forget how strong community life was. Without phones or social media, people showed up in real life. Neighbors helped each other harvest crops, raise barns, or care for children. If someone was sick, the community families ate together, played together, sat on the porch after dinner, just watching the sky turn from orange to blue. They didn't need to check Instagram. They were living the moment, not posting about it. There was a deep connection between people. You knew your neighbors, not just their names, but their stories. People were less distracted, more available, more involved. So, what can we learn from a time before electricity? That even without the comfort of lights, screens, or machines, people found meaning. They built relationships, raised families, solved problems, and kept moving forward. Yes, electricity changed everything. It gave us incredible speed, convenience, and access to information. But in many ways, it also distanced us from the world around us. Maybe, just maybe, there's still something to be gained by slowing down, disconnecting for a moment, and reconnecting with the real world. Thanks for watching. And if this video gave you something to think about, hit that like button, share with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe. Tell us in the comments, what would you miss most if the power went out for a week? And what might you rediscover? Until next time, stay grounded, stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.